Hi there, Gemini. Welcome to your tarot reading for the week of September 1st through the 6th. It's Raina here. I want to get my cord so I don't go out on you. And the reason that these cards are already out and about is because I got interrupted and I had to start over again. Simple as that. Luckily, I hadn't gotten too far. So one of the things that I remarked upon when I picked these cards is that 3 of them were swords, and you are connected to the swords. All of the earth signs are. And the other thing that I wanted to say is that this is the Druidcraft tarot deck, and you can see the brown. I think that has to do with the earth religion aspect of it. I don't know too much about Druids, but I'm assuming since they're pagans that they are following, worshiping the earth and things like that. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to say is I'm going to pick a card from the Energy Oracle deck after I'm done with this, okay? So the heart of the matter, the focal point, is the Queen of Swords. This could certainly be you. If you look at the expression on this woman's face, and the reason they use a woman is obviously because of a queen, the feminine, and the masculine. The swords are masculine. And she's holding this sword in her hands, and she's kind of aloof, okay? And that's what this card represents. Not cold-hearted, but not allowing her emotions to get the best of her, because we're looking at a feminine energy with the queens, and the feminine principle is naturally associated with the emotions, right? Like the cups, the water element. And so that means that sometimes people, when they have to make a decision, they have to leave a situation, perhaps, whatever it is, they have to kind of like not allow their emotions to kind of override their decision, because many times people have mixed emotions when they're thinking of leaving, for instance, and they don't really know how to proceed because their emotions can tell them that they know they're unhappy, but then they have that sense of like sympathy for the other person or just nostalgia for the good times. In the past position, we have the 7 of Swords. So this would clearly indicate some kind of underhanded behavior on the part of somebody else. Now, in this particular deck, and I think one of you guys, meaning a viewer, let me know that this card can also relate to being a strategist, so making plans. But, and that makes sense too. However, I think in this context, it may be talking about how you were treated in the past that is leading to this sort of emotional resolve, that you're not going to get too wrapped up in your emotions. Because we have in the current situation the King of Swords, and this can not only, go one better than the Queen of Swords in terms of detachment, emotional detachment, because it's a double masculine energy, but it's also connected to like a judge. So if you are seeking legal counsel or a legal decision because of a divorce, then that's what might be going on here. I want to remind you that this time period is meant for the first week of September, and I'm fully aware that this is quite an extensive type of a scenario that I'm presenting here. It's really just to kind of give some kind of context. So it's not meant to say, oh, everything's going to happen in 1 week. This is also a general reading. All Geminis are not going through the same things. So it's really, I think like any tarot reading can provide us lessons in life, even if it doesn't directly connect to whatever's happening. So with the King of Swords, we have the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is being logical. It means that, you know, if you're feeling torn about a situation, that you just state in your mind exactly what happened. So let me just give an example. Let's say that you enjoy where you're working, but you feel that you're not being treated properly, that you haven't gotten a raise in 5 years, and that you're actually being taken advantage of. The Seven of Swords could relate to this feeling of theft. It actually can be like a physical theft. So you could look at it that way. They're stealing my energy in the form of work by paying me less than what I'm worth, and they can afford it. I mean, that's obviously the key, that you have awareness of how much they're making, and you think they can pay way better than they're doing, and they just take advantage of me because I don't say anything. And yet you have mixed emotions, because maybe you like what you're doing, you like your co-workers, you like the environment, and so that is making it like a dilemma. And the King of Swords is saying, okay, what exactly is happening? Forget about your feelings. Just talk about what it is that is actually happening. And that is your answer. If you know that it's a dead end, that you're not getting anywhere, then you want to get somewhere with them, then you might make the decision to leave. And so we do have in the, what's coming in is the Five of Cups, and this is mourning the loss of something. Notice that there are 2 cups remaining upright. There is a silver lining in this, and you may not see it at the moment. It may come up after you have, if you decide to turn in your notice, you might say, you might get a job offer right away. You know, again, like I said, this is a general reading. Not everyone, it's not wise for everybody to quit suddenly, because if you don't have resources, if you don't have any prospects, it might be a foolish thing to do. This is just meant as a reading for those people for whom this would apply. And in that particular case, nature abhors a vacuum. You might find very quickly that once you have made that commitment to leave, that something else rushes in to make up for it, and then some, and actually makes up for it in quite a bit more ways. The outcome is the Lord, which connects to the Emperor. This is a card that's associated with the sign of Aries. I associate with Capricorn, but this card is about taking charge of your life and feeling in control of your life. And again, just like the King of Swords, to me, the Emperor could be like a judge. So if this is a romantic situation of the most serious caliber, which is the, the committed partnership, you may have legal things to sort out, and that person can do this. But I do feel that based on the other cards, this is something that is evolving within yourself, Gemini, that you're becoming more and more self-reliant and feeling confident in your ability to make decisions that are tough decisions and still come out on top, and not spend any time in an anxiety mode, because I do feel that Gemini people tend to be high strung, and they might have, it might be easy for you to feel anxiety, and yet this may be a situation where there's no doubt in your mind, because you just are at a crossroads and you know that you have to make a decision. I remember reading recently that Geminis have trouble making decisions. I was like, wow, I always think of Libras. And, you're both air signs, but I never really thought about it from the standpoint of Geminis having trouble. And I could see why. You're very changeable. So you may believe one thing one day, and the next day you've decided against it, or vice versa. So, yeah, very interesting. And let's pick a card from the Energy Oracle deck and see if it kind of corresponds with a reading or not. I just did a reading where it was like, didn't seem like it really corresponded with the reading itself, but it was still apropos based on the sign that I was reading. Oh, well, I like this one. Blossoming Abundance, number 3, which is a number of abundance. And you rule the 3rd house, so number 3 connects to you in some way. Okay, wonderful. Increasing wealth and value. This card shows a beautiful golden garden in the springtime with coins and new flowers blossoming all around. I don't see coins. Oh, I see one. They even hang like fruit on the tree above. Upright, this card signals a new increase in wealth, possibly a dramatic and unexpected way. Be aware that you sow the seeds of your own wealth and prosperity, much like a gardener works the ground and begins to see blooming results take hold. This card upright indicates that the universe is blessing you and helping the fruits of your labor to blossom. So smell the flowers and tend to the new growth. Be grateful and enjoy. And the affirmation is, abundant wealth blossoms all around me. I see the value in my everyday life. One thing that I want to let you know astrologically is that back in July 12th to be exact, you had a solar eclipse in Cancer, and that's your 2nd house of earned income. And maybe the harvest of those seeds being planted will come about in September. And so that would be very exciting because that could really boost your income, Gemini. Okay, that's what I have for you. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. I hope that you have an amazing September, or at least the beginning of September, Gemini. I'm eager for the month to begin myself, although here in the Northern Hemisphere, it certainly is a bit bittersweet to say goodbye to summer, isn't it? Okay, take care. Bye.